Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing with some fun Brutus Monroe products. So I've got the wood stencil, some Deco foil transfer sheets, the fall florals card panels. I have these two fun leaf ones. I'm going to foil these, and then the fall florals stamp set. Now I think that this kind of feeling is going to be great for some Wilderness Lodge photos that I have, with the big fireplace and also the beautiful etching on the elevator door. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am taking two different Velveteen Glazes, and I am just using my spreader palette knife here, and I am placing it down over top of the stencil. Now I am taking a silicone brush to go ahead and just move that glaze down the stencil, and I overlap them a little bit. That way the blue and the green kind of meld together. Now they aren't completely mixing together, they're just kind of doing this little swirly kissy thing where they're like getting really close. And then I'm going to use the same product again over on the other corner. I'm going to set that aside so that it is going to dry. Now I also am going to take the orange color and place it over top of this khaki colored cardstock. So I was not happy with the khaki color, and I did not have the color in my stash that I really wanted, which is unbelievable that, you know, you don't have the color cardstock or pattern paper that you want in your stash when your stash is huge. But you know what? Sometimes that happens, and you got to use your mixed media products to go ahead and make a good color for you. So I do blot it with a paper towel, and what that does is gives me a little bit of texture. And then I was just doing some splatters of gold, but as you saw, I kind of dumped the gold out on the paper, so I decided to go with it and use a paper towel to just totally put gold over top of the orange as well. Love the texture on this paper, love how it turned out, absolutely adore it. Now I did run my fall florals card panels through a hot foil with the what's it called, the green sketch foil transfer sheets, and loved it. Now as you can see, all of my things are dry, so it is going to be time to start putting my layout together. Now I really felt like I needed something to kind of take my stenciled bits and my background and kind of meld it together and make it make sense. So I trimmed down that background paper that I made, and I placed it over top of a sheet of bright blue cardstock. And that really makes a good kind of match of what I've got going on with my glazes through my stencil. So I'm going to take those two stencils and place them across the bottom third of the page. And then I'm going to take the two photos that I'm using, and these are two photos from the Wilderness Lodge in Walt Disney World, and I'm going to figure out where exactly I want them to be. Now, if you've ever been to the Wilderness Lodge, you know that it is a gorgeous, gorgeous place to be. And the products that we're using here, these fall florals, they just kind of evoke a Wilderness Lodge feeling inside of me, which is weird, I know, because the Wilderness Lodge doesn't like scream, hey, it's fall. But to me, the products that I'm using have that feeling. So I went ahead and fussy cut out some of these funky leaves off of the card panels, and I'm going to use that to embellish the layout, in addition to just having the card panel here in the background. So I'm trying to figure out where I want them to be, if I need to pop anything up or where it needs to tuck under, and just kind of figure that out. So I am going to fussy cut them out. Now, you're going to want to hold your scissor hand still when you're fussy cutting and move the opposite hand that is holding your paper. That's going to give you the smoothest cut. Now I am also leaving a little bit of a white border all the way around the leaves. That is also going to make it easier to cut. That way you don't have to worry about hitting that line of the leaf every single time. Now, I am also cutting out partial leaves because those can be tucked in underneath of the photos or what have you to kind of make that work. So now I'm picked out one of the floral stamps, and I'm grabbing my stamp positioner tool and some white cardstock, and I'm actually going to ink with a colored ink. And I decide to go with a blue ink because of all the blue that I've got going on in this layout. So I'm twisting the paper and turning the paper around. And what that is allowing me to do is to stamp my floral multiple times without having to worry about repositioning it on the tool. And I trim down that piece of paper, and then I turn the paper again, and voila, I've got a couple more flowers. So I'm going to fussy cut these bad boys out as well. And again, I'm leaving a little bit of a white border. Now, fun fact, Brutus Monroe does have coordinating dies to the fall floral stamp sets. I don't have them, but if I did have them, they would leave a little bit of a white border around the floral anyway. So I feel like I'm getting the kind of same look and feel. Plus, if money is a factor when you are making your purchases, something that you can fussy cut means, you know, you could buy the stamp set, and if you can't buy the dies, you could always get them later, or fussy cut, because, you know, everybody owns a pair of scissors. Now I am going to pop up the flowers on some of these little round pop foams. And what that's going to do is giving me a little bit of lift off of the page. I pull in some tiny word phrases, just of things that kind of, you know, remind me of the Wilderness Lodge or give me that Wilderness Lodge kind of feel. So in case you haven't noticed, I am a very emotional scrapbooker, and I don't always make my choices on design. I don't always make my choices on color matching or any of those things. I make a lot of choices of how the products make me feel and what kind of feelings they evoke in me. And these are definitely, this is making me feel very Wilderness Lodgy. So now I am also thinking about bringing in some wood veneer pieces, and what that is going to do is just really tie everything in together with my different colors that I have on the page. I am going to use some liquid adhesive to adhere the wood veneer down. That way it's really going to get in there and grip and hold onto the paper, and I don't have to worry about it popping off at all. So I do have wood veneer on each of the little clusters that I made, and then I decide I need some other things as well. So I go ahead and grab a couple of brads, and I'm just going to poke directly through my paper and get the brads placed in there as well. Now I do put washi tape on the brad tines that poke out on the back of the layout because I don't want them to damage any other layouts that this layout will be up against. Plus it makes it easier when I slide my layouts in and out of page protectors. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you like to use glazes to create backgrounds or through a stencil best. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video.